All right, Mark Rogers TV staying up late night after that exciting Navy win over San Diego State 17-16 because that kind of highlights my first segment of picks, because if you followed those, the first 8 bowl games, I went 5-3 against the spread, including taking San Diego State +3. But I also said Navy was going to win the football game, so I hedged it with Navy with a win, San Diego State +3. It worked out well. Navy gets the win. So I went 6-2 straight up, 5-3 against the spread, first 8 games. We're going to run through roughly the next 5 days or so, and let's get to it with the Bahamas Bowl. You know you've got too many bowl games when you've got the Bahamas Bowl. Not that that's not a great destination, but we've got Western Kentucky taking on Central Michigan, a couple of 7-5 teams from the MAC and the Sun Belt. Western Kentucky's a 3.5-point favorite, and I believe that they will cover this game. I've actually got it at, 3.5 points. Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers, over the top, cover the 3.5. All right, Fresno State and Rice. Fresno State's a 2.5-point dog in this. They got annihilated by some top-level competition, meaning USC and Nebraska in particular. At the outset of the season, they played in the very tough Mountain West Conference, made it to the Mountain West Championship game despite just a 6-6 overall record. They take on Rice here, and the Owls did not look good against anybody decent at 7-5. I really like Fresno State in this game. I think the Bulldogs win it outright, and as a 2.5-point dog, will take the points as well. All right, Louisiana Tech and Illinois. So conventional wisdom, I start out with by comparing conferences. As long as the competition is similar in meaning the seeding, which it is not here. We have like the 10th seed in the Big Ten against the 2 seed, Louisiana Tech, that lost the Conference USA championship game. So, that being said, the Big Ten much better than the Conference USA, but Conference USA with its number 2 team, Louisiana Tech's going to throw this football all over Illinois. The Illini had that one very impressive showing against Minnesota in winning that football game over a fringe top 25 team. Otherwise, the Illini barely stumbled into bowl play. They actually kind of surged into bowl play, stumbled early at 4-6, 1-5 in the Big Ten, but they defeated Penn State and Northwestern down the stretch to get into postseason play for the first time in a while. I like Louisiana Tech to win this game and cover 6 points. That's a little healthy, but I'll take the Bulldogs -6 against the Illini. Another Big Ten team in action for the first time as a Big Ten member. Rutgers back in bowl play against North Carolina. That is the Quick Lane Bowl. You got a couple of atrocious defenses playing in this game. Rutgers finishing their season on a very high note, coming back against Maryland down 35-10 to win it, finished 7-5, North Carolina at 6-6. I believe that the Big Ten is slightly better than the ACC, but I like this matchup for North Carolina and the dynamic quality of Marquise Williams at quarterback. Gary Nova susceptible to interceptions. He throws them against the good teams. North Carolina, not a good team on defense. There, I contradict my philosophy, but take North Carolina over Rutgers in this one, but it's going to be razor close. So we like Rutgers plus the 3.5 points that Vegas is giving. Central Florida and North Carolina State in the St. Petersburg Bowl. Central Florida coming off that huge Hail Mary win at East Carolina over the Pirates to claim a share of the American Athletic Conference Championship. The Knights come in at 9-3. North Carolina State, after a dismal 2-win 2013, reached postseason play on the strength of 4 softies during the non-conference slate and 3-5 in the ACC. I like Central Florida in this game. They cover 1.5 points. They're a better football team, top to bottom, over North Carolina State. Next game, we've got offense versus defense. Bearcats throw it all over the field with Gunnar Kiel and a host of wide receivers. Virginia Tech, despite what Michael Brewer showed us in Game 2 in Columbus against Ohio State, not an offensive team, do not run the football particularly well. But I like Virginia Tech plus the 3 points here. I love the defense against Cincinnati. I love Frank Beamer with the time off. Tommy Tuberville's an exceptional coach and has probably won more big games with less opportunities than just about anybody in the country. So Bud Foster against that offensive set. He's got 3-4 weeks to prepare. I like Virginia Tech to win the football game, so give me the 3 points as well. All right, Arizona State against Duke. Sun Devils win this one over the Blue Devils, and they run away with it. Arizona State's a very talented football team. I'm hoping that they show up motivated to play in El Paso, unlike some Pac-12 teams in recent memory. And maybe they show up like UCLA did last year against Virginia Tech and just maul Duke. Credit David Cutcliffe again for winning 9 football games this year in the ACC. He comes in at 9-3. Both teams are 9-3, but Arizona State, much more quality right there. I like Arizona State minus 7.5. Miami and South Carolina as the SEC joins the postseason party on December 27th. South Carolina, give them the 4 points. I will take South Carolina plus the 4, but I think the Canes win a close one. I like Duke Johnson and Brad Kaya to make hay against a very struggling South Carolina defense that finished plus 90th in the country in both yards allowed and points allowed in college football. We will have a dissimilar game with Boston College taking on Penn State at Yankee Stadium in the Pinstripe Bowl. This could be a 13-10 slugfest. Penn State with the second-ranked defense in the nation. Just check out the Ohio State tape when the Buckeyes were scoring and racking up yardage against everybody in the Big Ten. Penn State put down the foot and really shut down the Buckeyes in the second half, and that's with J.T. Barrett at the controls. Boston College gives us a little bit more in the run game and the pass game. Christian Hackenberg has been a mess for Penn State. Did they straighten him out in 3 to 4 weeks? Because I believe in the talent. I don't believe in the offensive line, though, and I think it's really affected Hackenberg's decision-making and his confidence. Boston College wins over Penn State, but it's this close. Take Penn State plus the 2.5 points. I wish it was 3, but take the Nittany Lions and James Franklin plus the 2.5. Again, BC wins the game. And finally, Holiday Bowl, USC a big 7-point favorite against Nebraska in what is a brand name bowl with USC and Nebraska, 2 of the pillars of college football. But Nebraska, with a coaching change, Mike Riley kind of backing off, letting the assistants do the thing, do the coaching thing while he backs off and prepares for 2015. USC, one of the more talented front-line teams in the nation. The depth is still not there. I like the Trojans as just about everybody else does, but I'm not quite as confident as everybody else. I like the 7 points. I think Nebraska has Amir Abdullah, who's going to be motivated to finish out well. I really believe that Amir Abdullah is a very proud football player, and I think Nebraska's got some pride. They showed it in the finale with all the turmoil surrounding this program. On the road in Iowa City, trailing by 17 points. They came back against the Hawkeyes, won the game in overtime. They go out to Southern California. They put up a fight. Trojans win it. Nebraska plus 7. Those are our college football picks for a second round of bowl selections right here on Mark Rogers TV.